Howdy, welcome back to more JTReacts, and today we're going to be checking out 11 things not to do in Australia. Australia scares me, I'll be honest, just because I've heard so much about spiders. And I'm not even like super scared of spiders, but like when they're the size of your face, it's kind of hard not to be, you know? But if I ever do go to Australia, which I would love to, there's some things in just different countries you just shouldn't do, you know? And today we're going to check those out. If you're new to the channel, hit the subscribe button. We're on the road to 30,000 subscribers. I appreciate you guys so much. If y'all want to see more videos like this, more Australian reactions, let me know by hitting that like button. If you're from Australia, let me know down in the comments. Other than that, let's get on up into
Australia is many things. It's a continent that makes up
keep them things over there.
the 6th largest country in the world and is home to some of the most dangerous creatures on the planet. And no, I'm not just talking about Australians. With a little over 8.5 million people visiting each year,
Okay, I do love me a kangaroo. Yeah.
tourism is a huge part of Australia's economy. That being said, there are a number of things to look out for when you're there. So let's get right into it.
It is beautiful, dude. Australia, if you want to go just to see some beautiful views, Australia is one of them places. What is that? Is that in the middle of the water? Is that floating? What is that? Oh.
Number 1. Don't stray from the path.
Beautiful. Dude, one of the best rules I think I've ever heard in my life.
With over 66 different venomous species, which is the 3rd largest concentration in the world, by the way.
66?
It's important to know where you are at all times. This is
Yeah.
especially true if you plan on trekking or camping in the outback, with things like the common brown snake, box jellyfish, and crocodiles. There's no shortage of dangerous animals here, so it's important that you stay on the path when you're exploring. And
Dude,
that
that
goes
sucker would just eat you so quick. Aww, look at that.
for warning signs as well, because while it may seem funny to some people from different countries, here they're very real and should be
Yeah.
taken seriously.
One thing I ain't messing with is some wildlife. Dude, an animal, yeah, they don't care. They might not, like, hunt you down, but if you're in their space and they think you're threatening, they're gonna protect themselves, son, and you're gonna lose that battle. Dude, koalas are so cute, but that one picture of a wet koala scarred me for life.
Number 2, don't underestimate the cost. Australia is known for having one of the highest living costs in the world, and traveling there is no different. Now, of course, this is all subjective depending on where you go and where you're from, but
Yeah.
it still might surprise you to hear that a beer costs around $9 Australian dollars, and a meal at a mid-range restaurant costs around 40. Now, all in all, if you're really trying to
$9 beer, you know, that kind of depends on where you're at. But like $40 for a meal, that's kind of normal. Like yeah, it's expensive. Like going out anywhere nowadays is expensive. So
save money, you can get it down to around 100 Australian dollars per day. And I'll just throw that number out there as an average. But between transportation, food, and lodging, the prices can get a bit expensive. So it's important that you price out your trip accordingly.
yeah, I mean, and if you're traveling, you're going to like the touristy spots most of the time. So, like, all that's obviously going to be more expensive. But what I think about is, like, the people that live there. It's going to be expensive for tourists, but they kind of got a plan for that when they're making the trip. The people that live there, dude, they just have to deal with it being expensive just because the tourists like to go there, you know? So, like, it sucks for them. But, like, if you plan a trip basically anywhere, especially into a different country, you kind of got to expect, like, stuff to start getting expensive, you know?
Number 3, and this is a short one. Don't say shrimp on the barbie. Now, this phrase
Well, I ain't going. That was the whole point. What do you mean? Is it really Barbie? I thought it was Bobby. Like B-O-B-B-Y. Shrimp on the Bobby.
was popularized by a 1980s ad with Paul Hogan, who was later in Crocodile Dundee, and it was sponsored by the Australian Tourism Commission to try to bring in international travelers. But this is absolutely not what an Australian would say. If they would even use that phrase at all, they would say prawn, not shrimp. So don't
Wait, they came up with a phrase to try to bring people to the country? What? Why? What? You're telling me just saying, oh, shrimp on the bobby is supposed to make people want to travel to the country? Why?
don't make it more annoying than it already is. Number 4, drinking in Australia. Now for this one, I'm mainly talking about major cities, specifically Sydney, so don't quote me on the rest of the country. But in Sydney, you can't get a beer after 1:30 in the morning because they have something called a lockout law, which means no one is allowed in or out of bars past that point in time. And they're...
Wait a minute. What do you mean in or out? What if you're in there and then when 1:30 hits, they're not going to let you out? What?
last call is at 3 in the morning. And of course, don't drink and try and drive because they have one of the lowest blood alcohol content levels, 0.05, before you can be arrested. And last,
good. That's how it should be, yeah.
but not least, don't order Foster's beer. That's not an Australian thing, that's an American thing. Instead, try and order a bottle of Bundaberg. My Aussie friends will know why I'm laughing.
Okay, I was about to say, what are you showing us, son?
Number 5, don't underestimate its size. Australia is a country with about 25 million people, and because it's a continent, it's made up of almost 7.6 million square kilometers.
I mean, just look at it, it's massive.
The fact that the majority of its population is clustered around the coasts, in urban areas. It's
New South Wales? Huh? I did not know that was a place. New South Wales, huh?
still means that as a tourist, it's going to take a long time to get from place to place. So it's important to take a look at exactly how long it's going to take you to complete your itinerary.
Yeah. Yeah, it ain't one of them countries you can drive from the top of it to the bottom of it in just a couple hours, you know? It's gonna, yeah.
Number 6, don't always tip. Now, unlike some countries, tipping isn't required in Australia, and that's mainly because their minimum wage is the highest in the world, at around...
How it should be. How it should be. Oh, people got a tip so that way your workers can make more? No, son, just pay them more. What are you doing?
$18.93 an hour. Now, your minimum wage is the highest in the world, at around $18.93 an hour. Now,
$18 is minimum wage? Minimum wage is $7.25 here in Kentucky. $7.25 is minimum wage. Y'all's minimum wage is one of the the best paying jobs in Kentucky. If you're making $18 an hour, that is an absolutely amazing job. What? Wow, $18 an hour? That is crazy.
places like the US, waitstaff require tips to earn a living wage.
Yeah.
Because the national minimum wage is $7.25 an hour. Now, if you have great service, for sure you should tip the person.
Yeah.
All I'm saying is you won't be scorned like in the US if you don't.
Dude, I bet waiters and waitresses make some good money, though. If you're making $18 an hour at minimum, plus tips, dude, they rolling in it.
Number 7, don't rely on public transport. Now, because Australia is so big and so spread out, public transport is difficult to find outside major cities.
Yeah.
You know, it's not like Europe where you can take a train to a small town, hop off, and then hop onto another train to another small town. Australia is just too big for that to be feasible. So you're better off finding other ways to get around.
So it's kind of like a lot of places here in America. It's just so far from here to there that they're just not going to be able to provide public transportation for most places outside of big cities. That makes a lot of sense.
Number 8, don't talk about immigration. Now, forgive me if I have to generalize a bit in order to get the point across, but for the most part, many Australians dislike the way that the government handles immigration, whether they're anti-immigration or whether they're disgusted by the way the government handles refugees. Of course, there's all the people in between, but the bottom line is that immigration is a big deal in Australia, and it's easier to avoid the topic.
Hey, you ain't gotta tell me nothing. I try to avoid any type of politics, anything to do with government at all costs, you know, so yeah.
Number 9, don't take anything personally. Now, Australians always seem to be joking around, and insults are one of the ways that they do that.
Yeah.
But don't make the mistake of thinking they mean anything by it. There's a funny saying where you know that an Australian doesn't like you if they don't insult you. Because
Thank you, bro. Yes, these are my type of people. That's why I tell people all the time, if I'm not like picking on you and joking around with you, probably means I don't like you. Like anybody I like and I like being around, I'm gonna cut up with them and make a joke or whatever. That means I like you, you know? Yes, I might be part Australian.
it means that they actually think there's something wrong with you and that it'll offend you. Go figure. So take everything with a grain of salt.
And I feel like It's gotta be like the worst type of people. They get offended by like jokes and stuff like that, you know, so just chill out. You'll be alright. It's okay.
Number 10. Don't be afraid to say hello. Australians have a pretty well-deserved reputation for being laid back. And like I was talking about before with the kidding around, they're good at taking things in stride, which makes it easy as a tourist to make friends.
Yeah.
And talking to people is a must. Last but not least, number 11. Make sure you enjoy Australia. Australia is such a cool place with so many fun and interesting people. And there's so much
What type of daggone fish is that?
to do there. It's important to keep in mind that these are all general guidelines and tips that I find out while I was there. And I'm sure you'll have a fantastic time while you're there.
And those were pretty simple, just kind of like, yeah, you probably shouldn't do that. Like, just chill out. If they're joking around with you, take a joke. Make sure you got enough money to afford the beers, and then when 129 hits, get the heck out. But alright, guys, that is going to do it for 11 things not to do in Australia. Y'all have to let me know what y'all think down in the comments. If y'all want to see more Australian reactions, let me know by hitting that like button. If you're new to the channel, hit that subscribe button. We're on the road to 30,000 subscribers. I appreciate you guys so much for watching, and I'll see y'all tomorrow.